What is up, guys? I'm Hubsmash, and welcome to my compressor verse flash hider video. We're going to start with Blackbeard. I just want to go over him quick, and because he has that shield that can reduce or change, I guess, modify the recoil that you experience. So let's just check it out. This is with the flash hider. We're going to fire at this. We're just going to fire straight on, and we're going to hold down the mouse. We're not going to compensate for any recoil. And this is with the flash hider full auto. So you can see that there is some major gaps between the first and initial shot. This third and fourth shot, and then as it goes up, it starts to go to the left as well. It doesn't stay straight, and that kind of thing. If you're going to do burst fire, let's just try that out. You can see that the burst allows for a much closer pattern. The first and second shot is fairly accurate on your crosshair, but even the second shot is up. You know, there is some pretty significant recoil. So now we're going to try it with the shield and see how that looks. We're going to go to this other pillar here. So this is with the shield, full auto. So you can see that the shield significantly reduces the vertical recoil, but it goes to the left, goes up and to the left, pretty hardcore. It's crazy. This is with the flash hider again. So now let's try out a burst then. See, it also has a more delayed return to center. So when you're firing the burst rounds, it takes longer for your gun to come back to center. Alright, so now let's check out the Compensator.
Find the hostage and proceed to extraction.
Alright, so we've got the Compensator on now. And we're going to try full auto on this pillar here. You'll notice immediately that the fully automatic fire on a Compensator does not have that horizontal recoil. So it reduces the horizontal recoil significantly. Now let's try our burst. So you can see as well, it's still got a fairly tight pattern on the burst, but the dip between, or the gap between the first and second shot and then the third shot is pretty significant. It's more significant than when you were using the flash hider. And now let's try it with the shield on. So it looks like the first shot is still on point. The next shots are significantly higher. The vertical recoil is not reduced very much, and it still goes off into the left, so the horizontal recoil is not very useful as well. This leads me to conclude that the Compensator, you can't even really fire burst rounds. On occasion, your second round will hit right above your first round, but oftentimes it won't. It'll go kind of up and to the left randomly. So it's really hard to fire more than one round at a time with your shield on. You kind of gotta, you kind of gotta do that, which makes you question whether or not maybe you should try using the semi-automatic rifle. If you're gonna do that. Now the flash hider did a little bit better job in the burst fire. So for somebody like Blackbeard, it doesn't seem like it's beneficial to use the Compensator in any scenario. I mean, you have a better vertical reduction. You can't really, with the flash hider, you can't really fire full auto with this weapon properly at all. Like, if I try to compensate for the recoil, that's kind of the spread I get. So I did a better job there, and now I'm out of ammo. But it's tough to compensate for this weapon's recoil. You have to keep in mind that you need to do that pull down technique, which is just pulling down on your mouse to match the recoil. And it will take some practice for you to get used to. As you can see, the first one I did that. The second one I did a lot better. So at this point in time, I'd kind of say with Blackbeard, you're probably going to want to go with the flash hider because if you're using the MK17 CQB, you're going to be firing in bursts. You're not going to be firing fully automatic, or you should not be anyways, because you have no accuracy. And I think that holds true for all of the assault rifles. I think that holds true for all of the assault rifles, and the submachine guns are less of that recoil. So let's try out a submachine gun now. All right, so now we got Castle. We got Castle with the what you call it, the flash hider.
5 seconds
And
counting.
we're gonna try it out, and we're gonna see what the vertical recoil looks like.
Was not located.
So you can see that the full auto vertical recoil goes up and to the right. The grouping's pretty low for the first few shots. First 3 shots are fairly tight, and then it significantly raises. And if we try to do a burst fire here, you can see that the grouping's pretty good. And so the flash hider seems like a pretty good attachment for him. And you can also manage the recoil, the vertical recoil, pretty well with this weapon. So if you want to spray and do the slight pull down, you can do quite a good grouping here if you just try to manage the recoil yourself manually. And now let's try it with the compensator, and we'll see how that looks. So now we've got
10 seconds.
Castle with the compensator, and we're gonna try just a straight full
5 seconds
auto.
to insertion.
So you can see that
Was not located.
it's easy to see that the first round's on point, and then the second and third round is raised significantly with the compensator. And even the groupings on the burst fire is significant. Now, if you're in a closer quarters situation, and you want to try and manage the vertical recoil, it's a little bit easier with the compensator. However, I think the compensator is not as versatile. So in almost all cases, the compensator is not going to be as versatile as the flash hider. The flash hider, because either way, you've got significant recoil that you got to deal with, and the flash hider does not seem, or the flash hider allows your burst firing to be a little bit more effective. So what this means is that in almost all cases, you're probably going to want to go with the flash hider. Now, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, consider clicking that like button. I really appreciate it. And I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you prefer, compensator or flash hider? I can't see a reason to go with the flash hider, even in full auto situations. You're still going to have to compensate for quite a bit of recoil, and it just makes it so that the burst fire is less good. So if you have to get into an engagement at range, if I'm over here and I'm trying to look at somebody out there, for example, it's not that it's far range, but or if I'm coming up here and there's a guy in the bathroom, like, you have to deal with a lot of recoil. Look at these shot groupings. And this is with the compensator. I just don't see that it's... I just don't see any benefit to using the compensator. Well, I mean, there's a benefit, but I think in all scenarios, the flash hider's better. So let me know what you guys think. I want to know what everybody thinks, because I'm not certain on this. This is just how I feel after testing everything, and I hope you guys found my thoughts useful. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it very much. If you want to see more Rainbow Six Siege, consider subscribing. Thanks again, guys. Take care.